Our first guest is the founder of an incredible foundation called Bradys Heroes, which inspires families to answer the call to adopt a child born with Down syndrome. Here to tell us more about it is Brady Murray. Welcome, Brady.
Great to be here, Scout.
I'm so excited to talk to you about the foundation today. Can you tell me a little bit about that organization, what RODS stands for?
RODS stands for Racing for Orphans with Down Syndrome, and our mission is to inspire families to answer the call to adopt a child with Down syndrome or other special needs.
That's so beautiful. I know this is very close to your heart, as you have two sons with Down syndrome.
Nash is our 15-year-old boy, and Cooper is our 11-year-old son. Cooper we adopted from China in 2016 when he was 4.
Wow.
But we were introduced into the Down syndrome world when Nash was born, and we had no idea that Nash was going to have Down syndrome. It was a little bit of an intense labor, and so I was just so thankful to see him. 10 fingers, 10 toes, everything was perfect, and I couldn't be happier, but I noticed that the doctor and the nurses were whispering back and forth. Doctor came over to me, and he pulled me to the side, and he put his arm around me, and he said, "Brady, we think your son has Down syndrome." And I remember fear was a overriding feeling that I had. I collected myself and I mustered up the courage and walked over to Andrea and I said, "Honey, they told us that Nash has Down syndrome." And she looked at me and she smiled and she said, "Great, can I hold my son?"
Wow, what a beautiful story and what wonderful parents you two are. You talked about your son Cooper as well.
Yep.
Tell us how he joined your family.
This is also another special miracle. I believe wholeheartedly that when we allow ourselves to get caught up in a cause bigger than ourselves, we'll witness miracles. And Andrea and I, we believe wholeheartedly in serving the pain that we know best. And we got super involved in the Down syndrome community, and we learned that it's common practice in many countries that when a child is born with a disability like Down syndrome, that they're immediately abandoned. And so in the circumstance of our son Cooper, he was found on a street corner of a city of 14 million people in China when he was guesstimated to be 6 months old. And our hearts felt that we should adopt. We felt called to adopt, truthfully, and we felt like we needed to go to China and adopt this little boy, Cooper, that we had learned about. I am actually an adoptee, so adoption is near and dear to my heart. And so we knew that at some point in time we were going to adopt. We just didn't know we were going to be adopting a child with Down syndrome.
What a beautiful addition to your family.
There is no doubt the biggest blessing that's being received is our family getting Cooper. Everybody that I've been around throughout my time that has Down syndrome, they have an unbelievable ability to be able to express love, to express joy, and to be able to help people to feel safe. And in essence, when you're around somebody, it's like it brings out the very best version of yourself.
Yes.
And we just love being around these kids.
I couldn't agree more. What a beautiful legacy. Talk to me about the foundation some more.
So we created the nonprofit. We've evolved over the years to call it Bradys Heroes, with the hero being the child. Our ultimate mission is to inspire families and nations, for that matter, to keep these children. Secondarily is that if an adoption is needed, our hope would be that we inspire families in their own country to adopt these children and keep these miracles in their own culture, raise them in their own culture, and only last case scenario would we have international adoption be the goal.
Right.
So that's our ultimate mission. We've been able to help 83 orphan kids with Down syndrome get adopted, and I've got to meet a lot of these kids.
Wow. How can people get involved in the foundation?
I would say that there's 3 ways in which people can help us. Number 1 is just simply share these children's story. Share the story of the organization. Number 2 is consider donating to our 501c3 charity. Oftentimes, the only thing standing in the way of a family being able to answer the call to adopt is the financial cost to be able to do international adoption. And the third thing, guys, if you're feeling something in your heart, like feed that and explore that and nurture that and see what that is, because it's very possible you're being asked to adopt.
What would you say to parents who might be considering adopting a child with Down syndrome? What message would you have for them?
I would say, first and foremost, adoption is not for everybody. But if you do feel something in your heart telling you that you should consider this, I would encourage you to nurture that and to explore that, because it's there for a reason. It's scary, but we can do hard things.
If you could go back in time and talk to yourself in the delivery room the day that Nash was born, what would you want to say to yourself?
I'd give myself a great big hug, and I would say, first off, it's okay that you feel this way. It's normal.
Yeah.
But brother, this is the best thing that ever could have happened to you and to your family.
So much joy and so much love. Thank you for sharing that with us today.
Thank you.
To learn more about Rod's Heroes, log on to rods.org.